Broadcasting live from the LoadingReadyRun underground orbiting moon base, it's the LRRcast.
Is the music done?
Yes.
Give me a beat.
Again.
Maybe this week I'll just cut that part.
I like that that had like some wow on it. Yeah. Like, wow.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I don't half-ass.
You're playing it with a
My
trumpet with one
half-assed.
of those like. notes on the end.
My half-ass theme songs are never half-assed.
You put your whole ass into half-assing it.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Just in the wrong direction.
It's like when Alex intentionally sandbags a theme song on Feed Dump.
Jerk.
Yeah.
I thought we were
guess the thing.
I thought we were supposed to be sandbagging deliberately and feed dump.
He
Okay,
does it incredibly well though.
Yeah,
he goes above and beyond.
he tries to like actively sabotage the
Yeah.
whole thing. So hey, welcome to the LRRcast. Guess what?
We have some super big news. We're going to figure out how long this hourglass actually is.
I'm going to guess 20 minutes.
I think it's somewhere between 20 minutes and half an hour.
All right. We're going to find out.
20 minutes seems like a useless time.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's 20 minutes.
That's fair.
Okay.
The other news is we are rescheduling
Our podcasts.
how our podcasts work. We did some thinking, which is
Something we do occasionally.
difficult.
Smoke appeared.
Yeah, out of the ears, like, and James sent out an email being like, "Hey, how about this? How's about instead of we get together on Friday and we do one podcast, and then we get together on Friday and we do another podcast the next week? What if we do all three podcasts on Friday, but do them shorter, and then release them
Throughout the week.
So instead of doing 1 hour to hour and a half long podcast,
Yeah,
None of them had yet to reach the hour and a half point.
I think the first LRRcast,
The
got
first
there.
LRRcast, but that was the first one we'd done in like 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was some catch-up.
But it was inevitable that one of those podcasts was going to run to an hour and a half. So yeah, we decided instead that we're going to do 3 half-an-hour-ish podcasts.
Because we were thinking about it, and we're like, when you look at Tap Concede, for example,
Yep.
and we're talking about Magic-related stuff, then we're not talking about Magic again for a month.
Yeah, for a month.
So we have a month's worth of Magic stuff to talk about. And if something happens that's interesting and neat, like right after we record one, we got to wait for a month before we can talk about it.
And at that point, it's not really neat or interesting anymore.
Yeah.
Because it will have been talked about.
Exactly.
The only downside to this is that I will almost certainly have nothing to talk about for those games we've played until possibly June or July.
Well, that's
Because
why-
my plan right now is to play Persona 4 the Golden as like my half an hour before bed relaxation thing, while I'm working so hard on Strip Search. And when I'm done, I'm just going to restart the game over again because I was playing it last night before I went to bed and I was like, I can't think of any game in the universe that's ever made me happier.
Well, we'll be talking about also, because that's likely to come up for more than one of us, we'll be making sure to use those games to talk about stuff beyond simply what we're actually playing and talk about, things that are going on in the industry, big stories, upcoming games, for example. So this is you ought to be listening to this on Saturday, assuming you're listening to it the day it comes out. But the plan is that the LRRcasts, as you are listening to now, will be coming out on Saturdays. Monday's when all our other stuff comes out. So
we're not going to throw something more. We're not going to throw more stuff at you.
yeah. So Tuesday will be those games we played. We'll put you in a hole or something for this week, and then Thursdays will be tap concede.
Yeah.
And that'll give us a chance to do more talking more frequently on all of these subjects.
And James is in charge of podcasts, so if you like or dislike or have any feedback, please email James at loadingreadyrun.com.
Unless it's dislike, in which case you can email Matt at loadingreadyrun.com.
Yeah. If you have complaints,
because I don't care.
Matt is still handling our complaints.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now we still.
By handling, I mean absorbing.
So you might be wondering, well, what happened to that 4th podcast that you guys have talked about? It's still there. It's still something that we want to try to do. And I think we're going to try to do it.
Some people have theorized the fourth podcast is vaporware.
Yeah, I think I want to try to do it in the next couple weeks, and we'll see how it turns out, and if it's something that we like. If this one goes ahead, that podcast will only be once a month. It will not be a weekly podcast.
Yeah, because that's not something,
that's
not something that we'd be able to do weekly.
Yeah, so
Don't you see?
Somebody suggested.
Fourth podcast is inside your heart.
I emailed Skylar at The Escapist, and I was like, if you look in your heart, you will see that there are 2 feed dumps that I bracketed. Your heart is The Escapist FTP, and he totally missed one of them. Nice. So don't look in your heart for things. It's not a very reliable filing system.
No. Good for blood.
Good for blood.
True.
Yeah.
Bad for stuff.
Look into your heart if you want blood and very strong muscles.
All right. Important news update. We're 5 minutes and 23 seconds in, and that's how far our counter's through. Now, you might not be able to see it.
Could be like a 15-minute.
Are you? I don't know.
I think
that looks
half an
longer.
hour now.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it is half an hour. Like
That'd be convenient.
It would be because that's how long these are supposed to be.
Oh my god, a use for our hourglass. Yay.
So,
on with this podcast. Get rolling.
So, briefly, we can talk about the video Filtergram because there wasn't a loading time done for that.
Right.
But there was definitely some unique filming challenges present in that one. For one thing, Cam's part was originally going to be played by James.
True story.
But James had to leave early that day, so we had to do a last-minute recast.
True story. Well, the reason that we had to recast is because we actually tried to film that video the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We headed over to Graham and Kathleen's apartment, and unfortunately, there were some lovely gentlemen downstairs installing carpet.
No, they were...
Or the hardwood floor,
Yeah, they were installing new hardwood floors.
So it was funny because we got there at around 2, I guess.
Yeah.
And they were banging away. And we're like, ugh, so what do we want to do? It's like, let's
Let's recreate this banging. Wham! Wham! Wham!
Ka-thump.
Wham!
Ka-thump.
Wham!
Ka-thump.
Wham!
Ka-thump.
Wham!
And
There we
then
go.
when they get near the radiators, tink 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 tink, it's like they're in the room with you.
Yeah, it's creepy.
So it was like
the ascenders for the radiators.
So the really annoying part about that was we're like, if we start filming, they'll probably keep going, and if we don't, they'll stop immediately.
Right.
And then you actually
Such is the rule.
You
Yeah.
called your landlord.
Yeah.
Like you actually called him, and you found out that they were going to be there till 5.
Yeah.
At which point I was like, all right, we know for a fact, like we have confirmation that they're going to be working until 5. So
Yeah.
we should just scrap it, not do this because the light would go down and we would.
And we'll
run
just
out of
sit
time.
here and we'll write Hustle.
And we wrote that episode of Hustle. But sure enough, 10 minutes into writing, I don't think we actually said anything until we were done, but they stopped.
Yeah.
Like there was no noise for the.
They're probably still there working, but they stopped making noise.
Stopped making noise, and it was just like the worst.
Well,
To be fair, I really enjoed that episode of Hustle, though. So
Yeah,
I think
it was
that
it
was
was
worth
very
it.
good.
Yeah.
I think that worked out well.
So yeah, we came back a week later, and then I had to take off. So Cam took my spot.
Yeah, Cam and
and brought his own louder flavor to the role.
yes. I see what you did there.
Yes.
And it was great because we were hanging out. Our friend Maya was hanging out, a friend of ours, and also Cam's lady friend. And she was all hanging out, and she was like, "Oh, this is so exciting to watch you guys," because she all was like blah blah blah. And she's just like, "I'm just surprised you guys haven't pressed ganged me into work." And we're like, "Well, no, we're not going to do that." And then we counted the mans right before we started filming. Graham was like, Actually, Maya, how do you feel about holding a boom?
The best part is that she'd gone into the other room to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Wait, who's running boom?" And there was an awkward silence, and someone started to look towards the room that she was in, and she was just like, "All right, fine." Like she knew what was coming. Interestingly, she had run boom before. She went to journalism school and had done boom.
So she was super pro.
Yeah.
I liked her boom credit, by the way.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was a long walk, but
Yeah.
It's
Not that long.
Not
though.
that long,
And
actually.
Lots of people got it.
Yeah, I didn't know because I'm not as up on my BSG, but I was like, "What do you want your boom credit to be?" And she just replied in all caps, "number 8." And I was like, "I don't get it." And she's like,
Yeah.
Come on, Boomer was number 8." I'm like, "I seriously have no idea what you are talking about."
We compromised and made it Cylon number.
Yeah,
I think that was critical.
I think that's necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. I
But it
wouldn't
was
have gotten
good.
it if it was just number 8. I don't think.
So the filtering process for doing sort of the special effecty parts was we did actually just get like some PBR and got like a stand-in prop for the blood orange mimosa.
That was actually a slice of lemon covered in red food coloring.
Nice. and then took
in grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
and took pictures, and then actually did apply like some like relevant Camera Plus filters to them. But then also obviously there's a picture in there, so that was pretty straightforward. For Kathleen's costumes, we shot the whole video, and then Kathleen changed a couple times, and we just took new pictures.
Yeah, we had to do that afterwards because I like changed my makeup like seriously messed around with my hair to make that bandana thing work. So it wouldn't have been. I would have clearly, if we had have done that in order, I would have clearly like looked different.
That worked really well. I was impressed you were able to get like that big of like a pompadour thing.
Well, that's why I went out, like, when James was at Yellow Jacket the other day, I was like, actually, I need to go do something. I realized that we were filming that day, and I didn't have, so I had to go buy hair clips to hold my hair in place.
But for Cam's parts, when we do the live video mode, so in case it's unclear, I am just filming off of Kathleen holding the iPad with Cam just sitting there, but in a different costume.
Right.
And
we had a theory how we could do it where you could actually see Cam in the background, like sort of out of focus in his regular clothes. Yeah,
so my theory for that, which in retrospect wouldn't have been that difficult, but we were running really low on time and light because the sun was going down and the windows were right behind Cam, would have been to film Cam doing the lines, actually film him on the iPad, and then have him in his regular clothes sitting on the couch, visible in the background, acting out the lines, in sync with playing back the video of him in costume on the iPad.
Right.
But that probably would have taken many, many, many takes. And as it happens,
well,
I actually had to
have gotten the background actions pretty similar.
Also, I actually had to leave early, which I'd forgotten about, because Bij and his improv troupe, Synaptic Chaos Theater, who we're friends with, were performing at the SakinoCon anime convention in town that night, and I'd said that I would pinch hit for them because they were short people. They're all very, very short people. they were undermanned.
It limits what they can do for improv.
Yeah, but I thought that their event started at 8 and it started at 7, and Bij was like, "Hey, we're in this room warming up," and I went, "Oh shit!" So yeah.
That's fine. Paul and I ended up actually filming the flipping parts after Graham had gone.
Yeah.
But I think...
Yeah, I like the way, because of, the sort of the reality we created with that the filters not only change how the stuff looks, but can actually like change stuff in the pictures. It means that, like, for instance, when Kathleen obviously is going from, sort of doing the victory thing to holding a cat.
Yeah.
It's not like she has to still be doing we've established that she can be it completely changes people's poses as well as actually changes what they're wearing.
And we did do that. Like, we took different options of when you were in like the rockabilly hipster and when you had the cowboy hat. We did do takes where she was in the same pose, but it was funnier to just have it be completely changed, that now she's doing like and then she's tipping her hat. And
the interesting thing about I edited this video, which was actually really straightforward, but the only thing that was tricky about it was actually because when you were filming Cam through the Camera Plus when he was in his costumes, the footage on the iPad was actually out of sync with the sound because it's going through the iPad and it's slower. So it actually made him talk, or it made him talk after he started talking. Like, you would hear him talk and then his mouth would move.
Really?
So I had to manually adjust all the noise, all the audio
Right.
track. So
Slightly
he was in
off.
sync.
Yeah.
Because the iPad camera is not a video
it was like
camera.
delayed by like 2 frames or something.
Yeah, it was like, I think, honestly, I don't think I got it quite right. I think it might have been like 2.5, which was super irritating. And that was definitely the longest thing, was trying to get him to sync up with his But so if you watch, you can see that he might be slightly out of sync. Although if he's slightly out of sync, you're like, okay, I'm watching it through
You're watching it through an iPad.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
really badly out of sync, just left
I
untreated.
did not know that.
Well, it's because I didn't bother you with it, because I was like, well, I know how to fix this.
Fair enough.
I like that no matter how sad Cam's character is to be, wearing tweed or wearing the eco-friendly outfit, Cam, the actual actor, was much sadder.
Yes.
That he actually was limiting how unhappy he felt about wearing those clothes for this film. Yeah, he was not happy.
It didn't help that Maya was like
Was
laughing a
and
lot.
taking pictures.
Yeah, taking pictures, putting them on Twitter, saying, "Look at how ridiculous Cam looks right now." Like that probably added to his.
Yeah, added to his discomfort.
And now everybody knows why I think Maya is amazing, because that's the kind of thing I do. Anyhow.
All right.
All right, AskLRR.
Yeah, we got some AskLRR questions up on the forums. The first question was from Dominic Applegard. What is your most memorable never again moment during shooting? That is something that seemed like a good idea in pre-production but turned out to be a wretched experience on set.
Oh, anything where it like calls for extensive outdoor filming in the winter.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but we've gone back and done that.
it's not
again,
really never
though.
again, because it's like sometimes it's just like
It
We
just
actually
happens.
haven't
We have to do
done
it.
extensive outdoor cold filming since Merry Christmas, Graham Stark.
I
been
don't
some
know.
pretty
Not
cold
not.
stuff.
I don't know if to that. Yeah, I mean that was the coldest day I think we've ever shot. But
Weren't we all freezing our asses off like a month ago shooting Junk in the Trunk?
it was definitely. It was.
Yeah, but that was only for like half an hour though. Like we were fucking cold, but we weren't down there for that long.
I mean, at least for me, that hasn't been a deliberate choice. That's just sort of something that
Yeah, it
sort
kind
of
of just happens. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, working in the cold, you know, jumping into the ocean in your case, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that was actually basically as bad as I thought it would be. Like it was about what I expected, which
Yeah.
was extremely unpleasant,
Yeah.
but manageable.
And I was thinking to myself, like the day when we did the Hustle episode about chasing the bear, and I'm wearing the giant bear suit, and it's a super hot day, and I'm sweating like a mad fool, you know, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. But if it was a hot day and I had to wear some ridiculously giant restrictive costume, or if there was a script that called for you to jump into the ocean again, if it was funny, we'd still do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that was like, we were like, okay,
then-
this was a bad idea.
I don't think I've ever had that
I don't think so.
thought. I don't think we've ever done something that we were just like, okay, that was dumb. Like we should not do that ever again.
Well, stuff that ended up in a video.
No.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that we've done that we were like, we thought this would be good for a video, and it didn't work out at all, and so it was just a big waste of time. And so we're like, oh, okay, let's not do that again because it just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm. So basically, we're willing to suffer for our art.
Yeah, if it's sufficiently funny.
Exactly. Utilitarian asks, how much or how often do you guys lurk on the forums?
I mean, like, I definitely lurk more than I post.
I try to read what I can.
Yeah, I don't know if it's lurking. I mean, it's reading.
I used to read every single thing,
Really?
but the forums are a lot more active now than they were when I did that.
yeah.
I pop in every once in a while, but to be honest with you, I don't read them as much as I used to.
I read all the
although
video
try to-
feedback threads.
I read,
Yeah.
I read video feedback threads. I look at the Magic forum and the video game forum. I don't really keep up with the general. It's too hard. Like every thread is like 1,000 freaking pages long. So
Yeah.
no.
I sometimes look at the sort of the general discussion forum. I'm like, this must have been what R. Stevens felt like when he looked at Umbrella as a party and just kind of went, I know who a lot of these people are, and I know roughly what's going on, and I think that's all I can really do. So I try to maintain sort of overall forum knowledge.
Jay Blank asks, what is your favorite album at the moment? So favorite album currently.
Favorite album. What am I listening to a lot? After that article the other day, I read the Big Shiny Tunes article.
Yeah?
I listened to Big Shiny Tunes again.
I retweeted that because it was
2
so
and
funny.
3. Yeah, it was awesome.
That was a really entertaining article.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite album, but it's the one I think I've most recently listened to.
I found that article funny because, okay, we should explain this. Okay, so Canada's MTV is called Much Music.
Yep.
And they really are Canada's MTV because they used to play music videos all the time, and now it's all just terrible, terrible TV shows.
Yep.
But they used to do yearly compilation albums of the songs that were hot that year, and it was called Big Shiny Tunes. And in 1997, they did the second one.
Yeah.
Because they did the first one in 96, and then in 97 they did Big Shiny Tunes 2, or Big Shiny 2. And even at the time, everyone was like, man, this is a
Good album.
sick compilation album.
Yeah.
And this is back at the time where there was like I mean, I guess if you are like sort of like up on the know, you had ways to download songs like through Napster and stuff like that.
97?
97
Just-
was just on the verge of that stuff being around. But it was extremely slow, and it would take you all day to download a song if you could find it to be seeded, and like you couldn't buy stuff through iTunes.
Nope.
And like so basically if you wanted like one song from an album, you had to like tape it off a friend or wait for it
We're
to come on the
carrying
radio.
around CD
or,
wallets?
Yeah. So like a compilation album was a pretty cool thing back then.
Yeah.
Sorry to
And
date myself.
and I remember when Big Shiny 3 and 4 and 5 and whatever came out, everyone was still like, man, Big Shiny 2 was
So-
really good.
3 is still my favorite.
Really?
Just because it's the first one. Like I've listened to 2 obviously, and I got 2 after 3 came out, but I wasn't super into music when 2 came out. Like I really got into music when I hit grade 8, and
Look at your phone for a second.
that's around the time that
I'm going to look up the track list.
that Big Shiny Tunes
wanna look
3
something up.
3 came out. So yeah, albums right now though.
So just-
I don't know.
just
Let's
for
keep
reference-
talking about Big Shiny Tunes.
Just
2.
for reference, the track list on Big Shiny Tunes 2 was Breathe by The Prodigy, Song 2 by Blur, of course.
At number 2, oh
At
my god.
Track 2, it's brilliant. Third Eye Blind, Semi-Charmed Kind of Life, Smash Mouth, Walking on the Sun, Sugar Ray, Fly, Brand Van 3000, Drinking in L.A.,
Hell yeah.
Marilyn Manson, The Beautiful People,
What I think is I'll let you finish, but I have an observation about this.
Holly McNarland, Numb, Bush, Swallowed, Matchbox 20, Push, Collective Soul, Precious Declaration Remix,
Yeah.
The Tea Party, Temptation Remix, The Chemical Brothers, Block Rockin' Beats, Radio Edit, Widemouth Mason, My Old Self, Radiohead, Paranoid Android, The Age of Electric, Remote Control, and Stone Temple Pilots, Lady Picture Show.
Okay, what I think is really amazingly interesting about this album is that there are, like, I would not have gone out and listened to all of these songs, and I don't
No.
think anybody here would have. But if you go through the list, you can probably name which Loading Ready Run member liked these songs and was listening to these songs when they came out. Graham was listening to The Prodigy.
Yep.
I was listening to Blur. Jer was listening to Third Eye Blind.
Oh, God, yes.
James, I'm guessing you probably listened to a little bit of Smash Mouth.
Yeah, that album is still the best album of all time. It's so good. Please go listen to the entire.
I don't know about Sugar
remember,
Ray.
Remember what it's called, like Fu Man something. I don't
don't
know.
know.
It's
I
so
don't-
good.
I don't know about Sugar Ray, but I know that Graham
That
owns
song-
that fucking Brand Van 3000 album.
What? I do not own a Brand Van 3000. Len, I own.
Yeah,
Oh,
Len's
I'm
Len.
sorry.
Wrong,
All right.
wrong weird
I was-
Canadian
okay,
supergroup.
I was listening to Marilyn Manson, and I don't think anybody was listening to Holly McNarland, actually. Sorry.
I don't think
Nobody.
so.
The guy in the article was even like, I didn't listen to this shit.
Holly
They
McNarland.
needed a girl, obviously. Bush, that's me again. I was a girl! I was a young teenager.
Wow, that was shrill.
Matchbox 20, I'm guessing that's more Jer. Probably also Collective Soul. The
I
Tea
listened
Party.
to Collective Soul a lot.
Okay, James is the Collective Soul. The Tea Party was just
Bill.
like Bill.
Yep.
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 Super CanCon. Chemical Brothers, that's Graham again.
Yep.
Widemouth Mason?
No.
Nobody.
No.
No.
Radiohead, that would be me and Matt.
No, Matt would
Matt,
no,
not-
no,
not in-
not in
not
high school.
then.
Matt listened to freaking video game music. Like
Okay, well, I was listening
that's
to
it.
Radiohead.
Yeah, I was listening to Radiohead.
Matt-
back then.
Age of Electric.
That
That's
was
actually
Radiohead.
I
No.
love that song.
yeah. Age of Electric are actually super good. Like I was listening to some like old '90s music on RDO the other night, and I was like, "Holy crap! Age of Electric have good songs." So I'd suggest you go back and listen to them. And of course, Stone Temple Pilots. That was probably me, James, and Jer.
All
All
right.
right.
So
Go
that-
listen to Big Shiny
that's like-
Tunes
That
too.
does
That's
not
like-
answer that question at
that's
all.
like-
but
Who
anyway.
cares about that
That's,
question?
that's, our
a good
favorite,
answer.
that's our favorite album of the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Admiral Mamo asks, what was your favorite happy accident while filming, i.e. something unscripted that wasn't meant to happen but was so perfect for the video that you left it in? Oh man, I didn't even fully appreciate this until recently when we were rewatching it, but the Hustle episode Cash Cats. Oh, yes. I can't believe that it worked out like this. There's a shot at the end of the montage where Kathleen and Matt are like trying to make the cats be cute on camera, and they walk over to the couch and they go, oh, and they sit down and they're like, all right, cool, we've done all the cat playing. And trust me, there was no way that we could have planned this because this cat's a jerk sometimes. But Kavrin, at the same time, jumped up onto the coffee table, walked into shot, and sat down.
Nice.
at the same time they sit down. Like the cat is also like, woof, I'm tuckered out from all that filming, you guys.
Yeah, it's like we're sitting together in a trio so we can talk.
And I didn't even fully appreciate it the first time, and we rewatched it recently, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. There's no way we could plan for that.
That's sweet. I can't think of.
Yeah, I mean, like just recently, this is kind of a minor one, but in the Ways to Spend Valentine's Day, in the shot where like we're all celebrating, just because of how the sun was coming through the window.
Oh, the lighting.
Yeah, there's this cool sort of 70s lighting effect going on.
Yeah.
I
was like,
that was just like, hey,
look
yeah,
so cool, you
that's super
guys.
cool. Let's actually just do that. It's, I mean, the nice thing about Loading Ready Run stuff is, we tend to do a lot of, we obviously have pretty set up scripts, but there's a lot of room for adjustments when we're on set.
Yeah.
And so we can take advantage of circumstances or whatever that, if we happen to be like in a location where like, oh wait, we can totally do this like this, then that's super handy.
Mm-hmm.
So that hourglass is definitely longer than 20 minutes. So I'm guessing it is 30 now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Next
Well,
question.
we're
Greg?
at 25 now. So.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to have to jump through some questions here
Okay.
to make sure that we don't go massively over time. Janelmo asks, now that Friday Nights is getting a second series, how long until it is released to the impatient masses, which is us? We can't tell you yet, but it'll be sooner than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Hosk, all right, please establish a criteria and then what? And then establish a criteria and then answer all of the following choice A or choice B questions with that criteria. It cannot be which is better. Okay, so there's options here. He's given us 10 binary choices.
Okay.
But before I read them, we need to establish a criteria that's not which is better.
But you can't tell us. You're not going to tell us actually what the things.
No,
are.
I think that's more entertaining. than
Okay, so
Um,
the criteria.
Which would I rather insert into Matt Wiggins? That's my criteria.
That sounds wrong.
that. Wow.
Like,
I don't want to insert anything into Matt Wiggins.
not like in an orifice, like bodily, like implant. Which would I rather implant into Matt Wiggins?
Okay.
Which I would rather throw my money at.
Oh, I like that one. All right.
Paul, what's your criteria?
Aren't we doing? I thought we were doing the same criteria.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, fine. We'll do which one we would throw money at.
Okay.
But if it's funny, I'm going to mention inserting it into Matt's body.
All right.
Okay.
Number 1, Graham or Graham Cracker?
Oh, let's go with Kathleen's thing and go with Graham.
Okay, maybe that is orifice based.
Number 2, PAX Prime or PAX East?
Ooh.
Prime.
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 It's easier for us to do. Yeah.
Okay. Then the above winner, Prime or PAX Australia?
I mean, Prime is a known
All right.
factor, so I'm saying Prime again.
Yeah.
But if money was no object,
I still think like Prime is still probably always going to be my
I
favorite.
think inserting Australia into Matt would be
It
interesting.
would be pretty tricky.
Top Gear or Top Chef?
Top Gear.
Oh, Top Gear.
Please.
Regardless of the criteria,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left or right?
Right.
right?
Right is right.
Right
Yeah,
is
exactly.
right.
Right is right.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Tea for me.
Paul's beard or the LRR wiki?
Which would I rather?
I'd rather
insert
throw money
into-
at the wiki.
Yeah, I'd rather have the wiki inside
Yeah.
Matt, like on a USB stick, just like floating around in his abdominal cavity.
Yeah, I'd probably rather the wiki.
That'd be hard to update.
But
Yeah. Avison
But very
Restored?
secure.
Avison Restored or Pokemon Blue?
Oh, I
Avison
would
Restored.
definitely rather insert Pokemon Blue into Matt. I've seen all of Avison Restored.
Yeah,
It's
it's
big.
like-
it's
it's
a
like-
big set.
Yeah.
They have
Well,
like
it could
a
be.
brick.
How about just the
The Hell Vault?
the Hell Vault? Yeah,
Ooh.
it's got the right kind of shape. It's sort of pointy at the top.
All right, moving on.
Oh.
Final Fantasy or Star Control 2?
Oh, the entire Final Fantasy series though, or the original Final Fantasy.
It just says Final Fantasy.
The original Final Fantasy, I would say Star Control 2 by far.
What about the entire series?
The entire series is hard. I mean, Star
Final
Control 2 is only one game, but it is
Sure.
a really good game.
And then last question or first question?
Last
Last
question.
question.
Last question.
All right.
All right.
After seeing episode 1 of Strip Search,
Ah, that was fast.
how many episodes of this amazing show can we look forward to? I believe I've seen Robert say, what?
Many?
I saw him say in the Reddit thread somewhere between 24 and 30, maybe.
Depending on how
They
it
have
shakes
they
out.
have not. He's being intentionally obtuse, and I'm going to go with him on that. And if possible, to answer without giving away the ending or the show, were there any contestants that you said, "Gee, I hope they win," or "I just like them"? I mean, obviously these. Sorry, like you're asking opinions about like the artists. Obviously, these are going to be hard to answer regardless. But seriously, they're all awesome. Like everyone.
I mean, I think we all probably had our pet sort of favorites.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we all like bonded with them so much over the course of filming that I love them all.
There may or may not have been a betting pool that started at the very beginning, but which immediately completely fell apart.
Mm-hmm. And last question's from my pseudonym is Ix. I don't think we have any hilarious drunk stories.
Not related directly to LoadingReadyRun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are.
I don't think that's what they're asking.
No.
If you want a really hilarious hangover story, you can watch next week's feed dump.
Yes. Apart from the 3 PS3s thing, what are the best and worst responses you've had to a video?
Oh, like PS3 is by far like the most intense response, though, right?
I think
so. I don't think we've got. I mean, maybe some of the other viral video ones, we got pretty intense responses.
Yeah, Graham.
And I mean, best responses could be the things in my head stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember the divisiveness of Leet. That's where that video gave me cancer came from.
Ooh, yeah.
No, that was. Well, I thought that was from.
That was 3 PS3.
Those three. No.
That was Leet.
No, that was Leet.
We're the 1337.
The Halo one, Future of Gaming.
Yeah, that one got
because they thought that we were saying that Halo was the best game ever somehow.
Yeah.
Even though we were actually making fun of them.
Yeah.
But and best response, in some ways, things in my head for me personally, certainly, because the one thing I love about things in my head is that the YouTube comments on it are almost universally positive. And everyone is sort of in on the joke and
like, oh man, I love what happens at 25 seconds.
Yeah. And then every once in a while, somebody in the comments will be like, "What's going on? I don't understand."
Oh God.
And his last question, so it is half an hour.
It's a little over half an hour, actually. It's
31 minutes and like 20 seconds.
Yeah, give or take.
Nice.
And his last question was, how long does it take an episode of Top Gear UK to reach Canada?
In terms of torrents?
How fast does the internet work?
I mean, as fast as the internet allows, in like legitimate sense, it
doesn't come at all, does it?
It does. It comes to UK or BBC Canada. I think about 2 weeks after the fact.
I didn't even know there was BBC Canada.
I knew there was a BBC America. I didn't even know there was a BBC Canada.
I think so.
We don't have cable.
But yeah, we can actually.
You'd have to pay extra on top of cable for BBC.
The wonderful. I mean, this is the thing with the internet, right? We can actually get it theoretically before it would air here, assuming it was being aired at the same time.
Like I can generally speaking, I can watch Top Gear Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Because it
airs
of the
on
time
Sunday night in the UK,
and so
then
there's enough of a time difference that it's feasible for me to view that before I go to bed on a Sunday night, which is often what I do. Often my Sunday night is dinner and Top Gear.
If anyone from the BBC is listening or cares, I have also bought 9 or 10 seasons of the show legitimately.
I've watched a lot of it on Netflix.
Perhaps
also Netflix,
if you perhaps if you allow people to subscribe to the BBC iPlayer from outside of England, then perhaps we wouldn't.
Doesn't some of the iPlayer stuff work?
Didn't
they open it up internationally?
I thought they did.
I didn't know that.
We'll have to check it out.
But
anyways,
that would make me happy.
That would make me happy.
Anyways, Top Gear's awesome.
Top Gear's awesome.
And it's almost over, which is
on that bombshell.
Yeah, on that bombshell.
Join us next week on Top Gear Cast when Paul is the Stig. We'll get him a helmet and everything.
We
will not get him.
Yeah, we will not.
Hold on.
What?
If Paul's the Stig.
Okay.
Who is James May? I guess it's me because I have the longest, floppiest hair.
Okay.
That's supposed to tell people who the Stig is.
Yeah.
That kills the whole thing.
Well, I'm okay.
Now I'm the only one who
Jeremy
can't be the
Clarkson.
Stig.
Oh.
I don't think he's pompous enough to be Jerry. You're too nice to be Jeremy Clarkson.
Well,
doesn't
nobody
work.
else. Well, but Jeremy Clarkson
Nobody's-
is the leader, and Graham's our leader.
None of them are.
That's the
are
only
nice.
similarity there, though.
None of them are really that nice.
I mean, I like jeans. That's true. But I mean, I think all 4 of us are wearing jeans.
Yeah. Like, I think we're kind of all just Hammond.
Yeah.
You're definitely Hammond.
Yeah, like
Look
we're
at
all
that.
we're all Hammond, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I would watch Top Gear with 3 Hammonds,
3 Richard Hammonds.
and theoretically Hammond in the Stig costume.
To be fair, I would
The
watch.
shortest
I would
Stig.
watch Top Gear with just 3 copies of any of the hosts.
Honestly,
I don't know about
I
three.
think 3 James Mays would be the best. that would be really funny.
But like,
It
Have
would
you seen-
also
have
be
you seen
6
Man
hours
Lab?
long.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely check out James May's Man Lab. It's a very
So good.
entertaining show.
there's 3 Jeremy Clarksons.
No, I wouldn't
yelling at-
watch that
No,
show.
no, because they would not agree on anything. They would just yell at each other.
And then they would break things.
Yeah,
be
it would be
hilarious.
bad.
Yeah.
That'd be a terrible show.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Anyway.
we'll talk to you guys next time in the LRRcast. So let us know in the forums what you think, specifically about the new podcast plan, and you'll hear from us again with those games we played on Tuesday.
Yep.
All right. Bye. Bye.